Thanks for tuning in to the Always Closing podcast. My name is Eric from Westlake Escrow, and today I'm here and filling in for Stefan. We have a special guest on the show today. Her name is Michelle Miramontez with Excellence SoCal Real Estate and Rare Coaching. This is Michelle. Thank you for letting us interview you today, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, so with that, let's get started. So, Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in real estate and kind of what you like to do in your spare time?
Okay. All right. So I've been a realtor for 10 years now. And I got into real estate because it was the one thing that I could do where I could still be able to be home with my kids. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And I thought, what could I do that I could still be my own boss, still be able to pick them up when I wanted to? And that's why I decided to do real estate, because of the flexibility. So yeah, so I've grown. I mean, my kids were young at the time, so 10 years now, they're 20, around 20 years old. So now I, have the freedom to do what I want. And actually, I coach because I've been in the business so long, and I discovered that, I needed so much guidance back then that's what I do now. Okay,
great. So you mentioned that you do coach. So can you tell us a little bit about what you kind of do for coaching and a little bit about the company?
Yeah, so my coaching company is called Rare Companies, and Rare Coaching is it's the name of my Instagram, and I coach agents one-on-one, and I focus on women in real estate and new agents, but not necessarily just women, because it's funny, my very first mentee was a male, and he still works with me to this day. I actually just sold him another home just recently, just closed on. So, and it's not just new agents. I focus on agents in general that just need guidance and support.
Very cool. Very cool. So you mentioned it's for new agents. So where did you kind of just get the idea to start the company, and what kind of motivated you to start it in the first place?
Well, what motivated me was just the lack of support and guidance that's out there. You get into the business and you don't really realize that it's your own business. You're running your own business. It takes a while for you to realize, like, whoa, wait a minute, this is my own business, and it's kind of lonely. And you really need to find a good mentor, somebody that can support you along the way. And I want to be that guide for the agents.
Right. That's great, with some really good intentions of trying to help the new agents, because they might feel a little bit lost.
Right.
And I know, speaking of that, helping new agents, you mentioned you are looking into starting a course. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that can help out agents?
Yeah, I'm actually working on an online course right now. We're going to be launching it in April. And it's an online course, but it's also I'm going to be there teaching one-on-one. It's a 6-week course. And actually this course just focuses solely on how to generate leads using open houses, and actually how to master open houses. So the name of the course is called Open House Mastery. And it's actually what I use to build my business.
Okay, great. And do you know how new agents can be able to contact you, or where they can find that course to get some more information on?
Yeah, so on my Instagram, I'm on there a lot on Instagram. It's at Rare Coaching. Mm-hmm. And I do some reels in there, and there's going to be links in there. So in my bio, the link will be there. My website is also or you can email me at michelle@rarelifecoach.com. Okay. And so they can find it there. As soon as it's launched, the link will be there.
Okay, great. So, in all of that, in the course and your coaching, the company, you are like a mentor and a teacher. So overall, what would you say is really what you're trying to teach everybody, new and experienced agents? What are you trying to focus on, and the message that you kind of want to get out there?
Okay, so there's 3 things that we focus on. There's a Venn diagram in my Instagram if you guys want to go check it out. But the 3 things that in order to generate, we all work to make money, right? So in real estate, you make money, you make commission. And in order to make money, you have to focus on 3 things. And one of them is connection, consistency, and conversions. So I would say conversion is probably the most important. You do have to start out with connection. You have to connect with a potential lead. And you have to do that consistently. So you can't just say, do some cold calls once a week and expect to get a transaction next week, right? It has to be consistent. So whatever you focus on has to be consistent. And then you have to know how to convert. So that's the most important thing. I mean, we can give you all the leads in the world. If you don't know how to convert them, then you have, that's where people struggle.
Okay, great. Yeah. And what would you say is the primary kind of, where do you see an agent that participates in your course? Where do you see them going at the end? Who do you see them becoming?
Oh my goodness. I see them becoming just very confident in their business. And once they learn the strategies, they can really take that strategy anywhere, not just in open houses. They can take it and whatever lead generation source that they decide is for them, they can take what they learn there and implement it in all the other ways. Right.
Mm-hmm. And I know that course is going to be a great way for agents to kind of get experience and kind of learn how to progress in their career. But from what I understand, that's not the only way you're trying to get out there. You're also starting a podcast called Rare Talk. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast and how you're planning on doing it and where you kind of see it going and expanding to?
Yeah. I am starting Rare Talk podcast, and it'll just expand on all of my experiences within the last 10 years. Actually, 10 years and beyond. Not just real estate, actually. It's going to be just stories from the time I was actually a teen mom to being an entrepreneur now, owning my own business and mentoring people now. So I have some crazy stories within my real estate career, crazy stories just being, a young single mom. So I want to bring all that and just inspire other people to just be able to move forward. Yeah. So
would you say, is that why what made you want to do it and kind of what gave you the motivation to start a podcast, or are there any other reasons?
I would say another motivation though is, like doing reels is fun and I'm getting kind of my message out there, but you can't always do them. It's a lot of work. So especially for women, we feel like in order to get on camera, we have to have our makeup on and get done up, and it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work. So I thought, well, if I could do a podcast where I could just do the podcast in, the audio version and just do it in my pajamas with my hair up and no makeup on, then I could get more information out and help more people.
Okay, great. Yeah, you bring up it's a good point. And where can we find more information about your podcast? Do you know where people can go and look for that?
Yeah, my podcast will be on my website. It's www.rarelifecoach.com.
Okay, great. And I know you also mentioned about the reels and kind of all the social media. I know you put an emphasis on doing social media to get that outreach. So how is that working out for you so far?
The reels have been really fun. I've just been doing, reels and TikToks. It wasn't something that I thought I would do, but it's been fun. I think the message is getting out there more by doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what platforms are you on?
So I am on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. And I have a YouTube that, I only have a few followers, but it's there.
It's growing. It's growing.
It'll grow.
Yeah. So I know...
Oh, and Facebook. Sorry. Facebook, yes.
Yeah, okay, great. So I know a lot of new agents are always wondering how to start off their social media, especially at the beginning. It could be kind of hard. What would you say is a tip for a new agent to kind of start growing their social media and starting to get out there?
Yeah, so I would say, pick the social media that works best for you. Instagram or TikTok works, and just be consistent. Start telling everybody what you do. If you've did something else in the past and now you just got your license, well, then just start talking about it. You need to just talk about it every day. And I would say the tip, though, I tell people is once or even twice a week, if you're starting out, to go preview homes, because when you're starting out, you don't have anything, right, to talk about. You don't have a listing, you don't have any buyers. And if you're just out there previewing homes, then you're showing people that, look, I'm working. I'm getting to know the area. I'm getting to know the homes. You can find vacant homes. You can go to new home builds and you can just preview and you can record. You can put the stuff on your social media. And I would say batch. So batch a bunch of videos, then take them home at night and do some reels, do some TikToks. And you have stuff to go, weeks. And then people are like, oh, wow, look what she's doing now. Look what he's doing now.
Yeah, super good tips. So now let's transition a little bit into more of the real estate and the market in the future. So how do you see the market kind of going from where we are now with the pandemic drove the prices crazy and all over the place? Do you see things maybe calming down, or do you see things like ramping up even more?
Well, we thought they were going to calm down a little bit, but they're still up there. It's still really crazy, 10 to 20 offers on a home. So things are a little crazy. I know that there was, for a while there when the pandemic started, they were doing some forbearances on your mortgage. So I think you might start seeing some foreclosures coming up, because if the forbearance is due, I'm not sure. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know, but that could happen. So,
And I actually read that the foreclosures have increased 7 times in the last couple of months. So what kind of impact do you think that's going to have going on from now?
Well, you could start seeing a lot of short sales coming on the market, if that happens. So.
Okay, great. Well, so just to close out the podcast a little bit, why don't you expand on what your future plans are that you have for yourself personally and your companies?
Okay, so right now, I run a team, and I plan on opening up my own brokerage someday. But right now I focus on my team. I am going to be focusing more on coaching and on my course. So I'm going to launch my course probably about 3 times a year. And it's a 6-week course, and it'll be a group coaching program. There is a VIP option that they can work one-on-one with me, because I really think that everybody needs a mentor and a coach or a guide in this process, because like I said, it's very lonely and there's a lot to learn in this business.
Okay, great. So I know you kind of gave us a lot of valuable information, but let's just say for the key takeaway in this video for a new agent that is watching or listening, what's kind of the one tip that you would want to narrow down for them to take away from watching or listening to this?
The one tip, the one takeaway would be the, getting out there, telling everybody what you do, being very consistent in what you do, and connection. I would say connection and then conversion. But connection is key too. I don't think I really stress that, because you need to connect with your potential client. If you don't connect with them, regardless of what you do, whether you're connecting with them at an open house or you're connecting with them on the phone, you're for cold calling, you're not going to convert them. So connection is key.
Okay, great. And if anyone has any questions or comments or would like to reach out to you, how could they get in contact with you? I know we kind of mentioned a little bit. Do you want to reiterate how people can get in contact with you and find out a little bit more?
Yeah, I would say the number one way would be Instagram, at Rare Coaching. I'm on there a lot. I love Instagram. You can DM me, and that would be probably the number one way to get a hold of me.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for watching the Always Closing podcast. It was a pleasure, and thank you for staying all the way until the end. I also want to give a special thanks to Michelle for coming out and being our special guest on the show. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.